Hey guys, so in one of my latest lessons on this channel, I talked about triads and all of the positions you guys may want to know to play triads on guitar. We also covered the difference between closed positions and spread voicing triads, and today I want to use them to actually create a chord progression entirely with triads using the spread voicing positions and also playing melodies around the chord. So we'll get started with a really simple chord progression in E minor. We're gonna use a very ambient tone, a Sunday morning tone if you like, and it's gonna go like this. So this is my first chord, which is E minor, and then the second one is D major, then C major, and the last one, B minor. Guys, I'm playing arpeggios, so one note at a time, but these are triads, and these are spread voicing triads. What that means, just to have a quick recap, is that instead of finding 1, 3, 5, you actually spread the voicing over 2 octaves and you get 1, 5, 3. So for this E minor, for example, the notes are E, B, G, root, 5th, flat 3. For the D major, same, 1, 5, major 3, so D, A, and F sharp. For the C, same thing, C, G, E. And for the B minor, once more, root, 5th, flat 3. Okay. Now, if you want to get a similar tone on your guitar as well, what you can try to play with is using delays, possibly more than one delay, definitely a reverb, and why not one more modulation, maybe a tremolo, a vibrato, or a chorus. So now that we know the chords in this chord progression, we're also gonna try to play a few melodies, a few notes around the chords, okay? My advice is to improvise melodies around the chords that you're playing. Obviously, the melody will have to be in E minor, so you will have to use notes of the E minor scale. And if you feel like you want to see note by note what I play, you can check out the tab and music notation on my Patreon page. So for the E minor, I would do something like this. Okay, simply on arpeggio with the 9th. Then on the D major, I would do something along those lines. Then on C major, you've got a couple of options, you know. Maybe the first time you can play something like, okay, literally, again using the 9th, okay. And for the B minor, you can just play the arpeggio and play a sort of pickup before the E minor, before you start again. Okay, so far what we got would be something along these lines. Now obviously the second time we can play a few variations, so how about playing the same melody on the E minor and on the D major and then changing what we do on the C and the B minor. So the E minor stays, D major, but now on the C we can use the major 7th in the melody, which opens up a little, doesn't include the note D, so the 9th of this chord, which instead we can use as the main note on the B minor. But what I would like to suggest for the B minor this time is, guys, don't play this position again, but how about you use now a different position only made by root and minor 3rd by using an open string like this, okay? This is not a proper triad, okay? This B minor like this, because it doesn't have the 5th. It's root, flat 3, flat 3 again, but one of these two minor 3rds is actually an open string, which makes it really interesting, okay? So the second time could be something like, Now, when you reach this, you can obviously start again or maybe do your own variations and improvise a different melody. Something that I would like to leave you with is another option if you don't want to play the B minor every time. So sometimes you can get back to your E minor doing something slightly different. You can do a G major, which will look like any other major chord that we played so far, like the D and like the C. And then essentially play a D over F sharp, so the same chord as this but in first inversion, okay? So this will include the F sharp here and the A here, so it's rootless, it would be this, but we're not playing the D. Something that I like to play, and we'll touch on it in a minute, is the open G in between, because it creates a nice dissonance, in my opinion, a nice tension if you like, okay? And the reason why you can use the open G string is because we are in the key of E minor, so that would be the flat 3 of E minor, and if you think of it as a D major here, you are playing the 4th, the 11th, while you have the major 3rd in the bass, so it's a nice tension, but it doesn't sound to me too much like a dissonance because these two notes are in 2 different octaves, okay? So recapping this, if you like this option, you could play something like and then start again from here. So one last thing before we try this with an actual drum beat and we make it more musical, more creative, is that open G that we briefly mentioned here could actually be played even on all of the other chords, because again, it's a note that you can spend on all of the other chords and you will be in the right key. So if you like to do that, the arpeggios that we were playing with the spread voicing triads, they now become like now for some of these chords the open G will be a note of the chord itself, but for some other chords it will be an extension, so it will create a nice color and different flavor, different color that you get for some of these chords. And if you like to do that, why not trying from time to time with another open string? And since we are in the key of E minor, what's better than just playing the note E on the first string and get something like Okay guys, so this is just to show you all you can do with these simple triad positions so that you can use your own creativity and make your own chord progression. Okay, now let's give it a go with a drum beat. So as you can see guys, I like to improvise and change the melodies around the chords every time. If you want to see note by note what I played, if you want to get inspired and learn that note by note, you can find the full transcription on my Patreon page and you will also support this channel. My suggestion is to develop your own chord progression with these variations available that we saw today. Create nice melodies. If you like this type of sound, try to get an ambient sound, possibly with a lo-fi beat like I did. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out in the comments below. Alright, thanks for watching guys and have a great day.